Moving straight on to sports, here's Ayo Tunde Balogun after a long while. Welcome back, Ayo.
Many thanks, Ijoma. And of course, we're starting off with Bayelsa State. Well, the state has emerged the overall champion of the second edition of Governor Sarah K. Dixon National Wrestling Classics in Yenagoa. Wrestlers competed in 30 weight classes in Greco-Roman and freestyle at the three-day event, which took place at the indoor sports hall of the Samson Siasia Sports Complex. Winners in the various weight categories will represent Nigeria at the African Championship scheduled to hold later in the year in Marrakesh, Morocco. Organizers plan to make the tournament an annual event. The 2022 Commonwealth Games will no longer take place in Durban, South Africa. Durban was awarded the Games back in 2015 as the only city to make a confirmed bid, but then an announcement about it pulling out is expected in the next couple of hours. Well, last month, the South African Sports Minister Fikile Mbalula indicated the city may not be able to host the event because of financial constraints. Liverpool has since expressed an interest in staging the event. Durban 2022 will have been the first staging of the Commonwealth Games in Africa. Well, league leaders Chelsea have progressed to the semi-final of the English FA Cup at the expense of 10-man Manchester United, courtesy of an N'Golo Kante goal in the second half, which was played at Stamford Bridge. Despite Chelsea's dominance, the Blues were unable to get a goal in the first half. However, when Spanish midfielder Ander Herrera got sent off for a second bookable offence, Antonio Conte's men made the advantage count in the 51st minute. United were unable to stage a comeback, having to defend throughout the entire second half, with a side already plagued with suspensions and injuries. Chelsea joined Arsenal, Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur, who have all qualified for the semi-final. Now, the World Anti-Doping Agency says Russia's anti-doping agency RUSADA still has significant work to do to get its suspension lifted. WADA President Craig Reedy says RUSADA were suspended in 2015 following the major doping scandal seen in that country. Russian Sports Minister Pavel Kolobkov insists that RUSADA is working towards being considered compliant, and there is progress on restructuring the country's anti-doping system. Now, that's a wrap on sports news. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
Thanks a lot, Aya. The Netherlands government has warned its citizens over travel to Turkey following a brewing row between both countries. That warning to avoid gatherings and crowded places comes as the Turkish foreign minister lodged a formal protest with the Dutch envoy. Meanwhile, President Tayyip Erdogan has launched a slew of verbal attacks on the Netherlands following an incident over the weekend when Turkish ministers were prevented from addressing a rally in Rotterdam. And Syrian government officials say rebel fighters will be leaving their last enclave in Homs. The evacuation is said to be part of an existing deal with community leaders and should take place between 6 to 8 weeks to complete. It's been known as the capital of the revolution since residents embraced the call to overthrow President Bashar al-Assad in 2011 and drove security forces out of much of the city in 2012. And on entertainment news, tonight's media personality Adeswa Onyenokwe is set to make her movie debut as a lead character in a new movie. Here's Mayawa Ogunele with more.
Many thanks. Here are your trending entertainment stories. As the world continues to celebrate the International Women's Month, Nigerian television personality Adeswa Onyenokwe, in collaboration with Peju Fadirepo, joined forces to produce a movie titled Chatroom to commemorate the celebration of the female gender. The movie, which would be Onyenokwe's debut production, will also see her taking up lead acting roles alongside another television personality, Ike Osaki-Odowa.
Movie, yes, but it's more than a movie because we are trying to take on something that we think is a scourge in our society, which is child abuse, gender abuse, domestic violence, issues that are not pretty to talk about. But we want to show that through entertainment, you can pass on messages at the same time. You enjoy the movie, but you get a message.
Dancer Kafi, Afropop singer Omaomi, and dexterous producer TY Mix have been announced as the judges of the 7th installment of the talent hunt program God's Children Got Talent. The talent hunt event is created to discover and nurture talent of specific values and morals within the ages of 6 and 20. And the cast and crew of the crime heist thriller Ojukokoro feted movie buffs to an elaborate premiere of the movie in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. The movie, which stars a blend of mainstream Nollywood names alongside freshers including Wale Ojo, Ali Nuhu, Afiz Oyetoro, and Charles Etubiebe as lead character. The movie chronicles an intriguing tale about a money-strapped manager of a shady petrol station who decides to rob his employers, but along the line finds out in a sudden twist that he is not alone in his ambition and that a good reason isn't always a right one. And that's all for tonight. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Thanks a lot, Mayowa. And the main news again. President Muhammadu Buhari today resumed duty after his return from vacation in the UK. The president received briefs from his chief of staff, Abba Kyari, and the vice president, Professor Yemi Oshibajo. And a judge in South Africa today sentenced a Nigerian, Eke Ogachukwu, to 20 years in jail for human trafficking. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Bunyato. Do have a good night.